Welcome to another one of my vlogs. I'm very excited to share this one because finally, after years and months of preparing this show, I'm finalizing with a few time lapses these last artworks that you saw last week, and then bringing them to the gallery and reinstalling this mound, this massive mound inside the gallery space, and all the details and insights that could only come from installing them. So I'm very excited to share this with you guys. If you're new here, this is all about art and how spirit communicates back to me as I'm creating. And so write in the comments if you've had similar experiences with this, and don't forget to subscribe if you're not yet subscribed to the channel. It means a lot to me. And let's jump right in. So today, how do you name those little starfish shaped indentations in the mound so that it looks like it's a blend of earth, of the ocean, so water, earth, but also the cosmos with the stars. And I'll put the render I did on the screen, so hopefully it'll look like that once done. It's so cold today. And here back to the portal of emanation. I was, as you saw in the last episode, I was kind of impatient with this piece being already late to transport it in the gallery, and it took a lot longer than I thought painting it, and this is another proof of it, because I was wanting it to be perfect. So this is me adding another layer of dark on the ripple effect, so that it has a more powerful and hypnotic effect to the viewer by adding a bit more contrast. So this is another few hours of me measuring every paintbrush stroke I'm doing, which was so long but so rewarding in the end. So today I'm still working on this piece behind me, but I've decided to try something. So I found the complementary color of this exact shade of blue, and I'm gonna paint all the edges in that color. And eventually when I do the centerpiece here, then Star Nebula, I'm gonna paint it with the same color, so as if it's emitting light to the frame, to the container of the piece. So there's a lot of symbolic meaning behind this that I think is getting revealed as I am doing it. But I think, so that's what I'm going to be working on as I'm waiting for this pigment, a silver pigment, to do the stars here. So I should receive it soon. And I just want to clean up the frame to make sure that it's nice, because right now it's crashed and there was a few issues ever since I started prepping the surface and painting it. So, and then I'm gonna go look downstairs if the stars on the mound have stuck and dried in a solid manner, or if they're just flaking off. So that's the plan for today. Oh, and also, if you see here, I've repainted this guy, made it nice and clean. I just have to reposition this copper wire. I painted this as well. And lastly, this thing here, this is gonna be this has been painted too. That's gonna be, when the doors are closed, it's gonna be this kind of how do you call it, handle, I guess, to open and close it. And then the starfish, I painted it too, to go on the mound. So I've been working very hard for many days, and I can see it coming together, so it's exciting. So let's get to work. And now once again, new angle showing me adding this psychedelic highlight. I don't know how to call it, but for me it did create the psychological effect with these complementary colors. And this too was so tricky with the frame being uneven, so I literally had to create an illusion that it was even, so that when you look it from the front, the thickness of the edge looks the same everywhere, but that's an illusion, because if you go up close, some of it is 1 centimeter thick, the line, and in some places it's half a centimeter. And here I'm finally tracing this this Hourglass Nebula onto the canvas, and wanting it to be very precisely like the actual star nebula, because this is based off a NASA picture. So if it is a real image, because sometimes they produce AI images or digital images, well, it's as close in the colors and in the shape as possible. And then finally adding a few details to this positive charge that is an aspect of God. So this is kind of crazy how things are just moving, outside of my control. This painting I'm making now, it's like almost 1 a.m. right now. And this middle part I just finished. I had so much hesitation what to do, because I wanted to make, that was my original idea, but I didn't know how it would look because it's kind of a realistic depiction of something real in this kind of abstract background. So I was like keeping it for the end, just to have time to process all of the rest. And then today I got the insight, like, just to make this line with a complementary color, so that it looks like there's this kind of electric field that's emitting energy, because it's called the portal of emanation. So I looked at the exact complementary color of this exact blue, and it's this. And as I finished it, I'm like, and I'm wondering like what I should put there. I'm like, the original picture from NASA of this is exactly that color. So then I'm just like, I had shivers, and I'm like, for sure this is what has to go there. So I started to trace it, as you saw in the earlier video, and it was just so, like, when you finish an artwork and kind of get goosebumps, it was that kind of moment for me. Like, all those little colors, the pinks, the greens, I thought it would maybe be too much, but like, probably the camera doesn't do it justice, but it just feels so alive in the center there of the galaxy, of the body of the goddess Nut. And then I also did this kind of effect on the positive charge of the universe, the godly masculine polarity, just doing this kind of how do you say that, atmospheric and ethereal feel, as if light is coming through the fog. So super happy. Tomorrow is the last day. Tomorrow's Friday, and they're coming to pick it up Saturday morning, and I should receive the paint. I want to have silver paint to make these stars so that they have kind of a shine to them, and I should get that tomorrow by the end of the day in the mail. So I'll do that, and I want to, all of these ripples, create a darker dark. So basically probably just put this same blue with the lapis lazuli, but with a tint of darker blue, and just probably here in the middle of this line create another line of darker color. So then there will be like light, dark, lighter, lighter, dark, lighter, lighter. So it'll create more like of a wavy feel, and less of like a 2D static, more drawn on feel, hopefully. So that's the plan for tomorrow and the next days, and then it's the packing up and installation, which is quite exciting. Also, as this is finished, I repainted it as I said earlier, but I'm starting to get insights into, I've drawn all the astrological chart on this copper plate, and I was curious to know how this would manifest, because I know there's 5 planets going in my 8th house, where I have 2 natal planets. And this is the most mystical piece of all, because it was kind of birthed in a mystical experience. Since the one I understand the less, and I'm doing kind of blindly. But I'm starting to understand that during this art show, the real rebirth is none of perhaps a separate aspect of myself, but my astral self, which is the one that is the mediator between the spiritual dimensions and the earthly realms, developing this kind of astral avatar with the help of symbolic artworks like this one, so that I can pick up on these invisible energies with more grace and more ease, and bring back this kind of invisible light through my personality, which has its own birth chart, of course, when I was actually born. So it's exciting, it's scary, not really scary. It's exciting more than anything else. And I'm just very curious to see what's going to happen, because at the same time as I just entered my Saturn Subdasha, which is in my 8th house once again, it's kind of corresponds pretty exactly when I just restarted doing Kundalini yoga as well. And it's my 2nd class was earlier today before painting this, and can already sense like I end up finishing the class, can barely speak, in the sense like I'm in such a deep place that speaking feels too mundane, it feels too vain, too profane. Like literally just feel like closing my eyes. And I'm not anywhere, I'm not seeing things, I'm just like in a deep, 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 deep place that is just so comfortable. Today is finally move day. I'm not bringing this piece, but because it's not finished, but all the rest is going in. I'm gonna install the mound. Finally move day. So as you see, I put this white border on the floor with this darker center, and for me that was symbolic, because the white, when you do ceremonial magic, the white is sort of the color you imagine when you draw the circle around you. It is a sort of protective, energetic boundary, and inside I wanted it to represent the void, the cosmic mother. So this empty space that you enter within your heart that allows you to move from one dimension to the other, but being protected by this white sort of perimeter. And this, as you're gonna see in the video, the time lapse does become invisible, so no one really knows about it, but there's so many steps I did behind the scenes so that the energetics of this mound and of the art gallery becomes protected, and that people can actually explore those dimensions within themselves without feeling threatened. And that's why I think when I had my first experiment inside the mound myself, I did feel like I was in the shell of a crab, as the mysteries of the crab, feeling safe to go explore. And finally, this is me putting the tower on top and then patching the separation of the 2 halves so that they're united again, which felt very satisfying, especially seeing it dry for the first time. you see me just patching, fine-tuning the edge so that there's no mud on the floor, on the concrete floor, but that you don't see the mat, so that it looks nice and clean. And you'll see a bit later I decided to put some spice even to cover this last little shadow that we see, created by the fact that I could not put clay directly all the way to the floor, concrete floor. So I put some spice mix to cover it up, but also as an energetic protection, as all the spices I used were designed this way. So as you saw yesterday, finally completed this, moved this in. It feels quite exciting to have, you know, all of the things ready, or starting to get ready, but also, yeah, a bit terrifying. Today I'd made this little contraction thing. So this is all little the pince, and it will be hooking the wool that's going to be draped inside. So I'm going to try this out. Paint it gold symbolically. It feels like the symbol of that is kind of like your body in this ritual goes inside the dark, connects to your astral self, because when your body disappears because you're in the dark, all that's left is this idea of you, which is your astral self. And then once you figure that out, you can ascend, and on top there will be this golden, now I'll paint the top of the bottom of the sculpture and the top of this inside gold as well. And I don't think you might be able to see it glimmer a little bit when you're inside, but it's going to be pretty dark. But the idea is that it's your soul, and the soul is the body. The solar body is what you need to go connect to those mysteries that are the Madonna and the lapis lazuli. So there's like this multiple levels. It's all coming together with the triangle as well. Like I was thinking to make first the shape a square, just because it's just easier to drape for facades, like with a square. But symbolically, this being the supernal triad in the Kabbalah, the Holy Trinity, it feels more symbolically accurate. So I'll try to figure out how to do that. There will be a lot of material to hang on this, so I wonder if it's gonna work, but I'll try it first and let you guys know how it goes. So I just put this little hook on the heart. So imagine this will be hung like about here, really in the heart of the sculpture. It's like the beating heart of nature. It's so cool to have this symbolic, I don't know what it is, probably like a piece of root that's just hanging there. It's quite light and rotten, like, I mean rotten in the sense like it's almost like corky, but like it's like, yeah, it's very soft wood. But I got a good grip on the top here, so that's good. Yeah. All right, so here's what it looks like so far. This is the heart. And then the little triangle. And these little hooks up there will be where the drape will be attached to. So from down where I am right now, you're basically gonna see that, and if you move a little bit, like through the triangle, you can see that the golden top, the soul. So hopefully this translates. I mean, it's very symbolic and conceptual. But people that watch this will know all the intricacy and the symbolism that is even behind what you can see in this dark womb. So installation day 2 done. I've decided to put the turtle there as if she's coming out of the inner waters of consciousness. And then my starfish sculpture fits very well there. I fixed this again because it was drawing the wrong color. And this little guy here, the incense holder, and more water coming out. So it feels like the water is coming from the top, and then it's just flowing down, coming out, as if there's a waterfall inside. So, and then I'm gonna try to figure out how to make some sort of concentrated spice mix that will be easy to water to help the aroma go in the room. And now what you hear is the soundtrack of the show that I put inside. But this sound is not gonna be inside, it's gonna be on those speakers there. So to be continued. So I came here yesterday to work on this piece behind me. I forgot my camera at home, so I'm gonna just update you guys what I want to do here. So it's cool because I hadn't seen it installed with this grid being painted blue. I have my silk yarn down here, and I wanted to do this sort of web inside there, but I thought it would be cool to integrate a snake in there. The snake being the Kundalini energy that lies dormant within the matrix of your spine. So there's a lot of metaphors, there's a lot of deep spiritual understanding, but I've had experiences where I actually traveled through the hollow body of the snake as if it's like a wormhole into space. So like this Kundalini energy, like the spine, is a sort of highway to go explore different aspects of yourself that will have a correspondence in space as well. And there's a lot of myth and old myths about serpent deities that are used to travel and go see different parts of the cosmos and different beings. So it's all gonna be part of the show. It's so funny to me watching this video back as I'm doing this voiceover, seeing myself do this in a time lapse. It feels like I'm a spider weaving the sort of fabric of time and space, the same type of experience I've had that I've described in the past vlog, but now doing it physically, weaving the grid of the matrix together, and now putting this sort of energy flow on top of the grid symbolically. It was really meaningful as a process as well. So just finished this part of the installation. So basically highlighting the cube in which the snake is kind of trapped, the Kundalini. So the cube is a very important symbol in the Hermetic sciences. It represents Tifereth, which is the sun in the middle of the Kabbalistic tree of life. So it's our heart chakra as well. And the Kundalini is kind of inside of it, inside this middle pillar. And so to get out of this matrix, you have to connect with this energy through the heart and then exit through the other side. And this is what this represents here, under this kind of cosmic current, which affects all of us through our emotional body. So a lot is integrated in here. I'm pretty satisfied. I wish the paint would be maybe a little bit more opaque, but this is silk yarn, so it absorbs the paint a lot. So I'm just gonna go with it. It's gonna be more subtle, but probably when it's darker out. And there's like 2 lights that are gonna be projecting light so that you see the matrix printed on the wall there. So hopefully this, because it's a warm light, it'll kind of warm up the orange hue versus the blue hue, which will be more tame. So now I'm gonna be just brushing over, painting all of those things so that it looks nice from every angle. Thank you guys for watching. Next week you can expect to finally see the full show all installed, as well as an eclipse ceremony I conducted to activate the artwork in the community where I'm at, and sharing my insights of how people responded to the work once it was activated, and people could actually go inside the mount, experience all of those small details that activate your subconscious mind, the effects it really has for people, because a lot of those details are invisible, like stuff I hid inside the artwork that can only be experienced when you're fully present with the work. So I'm excited to share this next week, and until next time, much love and light to all of you guys.